Hello students, let us start our new session with the new topic, with the new law, Ampere's circuital law. So here there is another way, like a Biot-Savart law. We are going to prove Ampere's law. Consider a open surface boundary. So while the surface through which current is passing through it, boundary is to be made up of a number of small line elements, and that small element with the length, for example, dl. Now we are taking it's a tangential component of that magnetic field, that is a bt. So bt, that is basically a b into dl, by combining the magnetic field effect with its tangential component dl. So that is a bt dl, or we can define as a b into dl, like a Biot-Savart law. Now here, while we are taking a smaller portion and we are going to calculate its magnetic field effect, so and for the larger numbers we are going to add these small parts, or we are going to integrate over the surface limit. So here in surface boundary limit is available, rather to get a summation of the smaller parts, we are going to integrate over the surface to get a total current passing through the surface. So my equation becomes surface integration of b into dl is nothing but mu 0 into I. That I is the total current flowing through the surface. We are taking an integration over the closed loop of that, by coinciding that particular boundary of the surface. So now the relation gives the above is the sign convention, and that is given by the right hand rule only, which we have already explained. So here with that, take a right hand, fingers curls over the boundary and transverse towards the loop of the integral b dot dl. So the direction of the thumb that gives you in which the current is regarded as an positive. So here for the several application, the simplified version we are using. In that case, three cases we are taking. First case, b is the tangential to the loop and is non-zero with the constant b. Second case, if b is normal to the loop, or third case is if b is not present, it is vanished. So one is the tangential component, second b is the normal component, third b is not present. So for that, now if we are taking a length L, that is a part of the loop in which B is the tangential component, current IE is passing through the loop, so my BL is mu 0 IE. Now the system is we are taking as a symmetry for the straight infinite current carrying wire. So Ampere law is defined for the magnetic field same way as the Gauss law is defined for the electric field for the boundary condition. So now as the boundary of the loop we are choosing as a circle, and the magnetic field is available as a tangential component to the circumference of the circle. So it gives B into 2 pi r, the circumference of the circle with the magnetic field B. So that is B into 2 pi r. So that, and as we have B into 2 pi r equal to mu 0 into I. That r is the magnetic field at a distance r outside of that wire at the tangential component. So B into 2 pi r equals to mu 0 into I. So B is equal to mu 0 I upon 2 pi r. So by having that equation, 4 results we can go through it. First, it implies that field at every point onto the circle with the radius r is same in the magnitude. So over the circle at any point my magnitude of the magnetic field is remains same. It shows the cylindrical symmetry property where the coordinates depends only on the radius of the circle r with the tangential component of magnetic field and the point where the magnetic field effect is present. Second point, the field direction at any point onto the circle is tangential. So, the lines of constant magnitude of magnetic field form a concentric circle. At each point, the field direction we are taking tangential. So, that is a constant concentric circle is available. Like iron filling concentrating circle. It's called a magnetic field lines closed loop. Right? Now, third point is, even though the wire is infinite, the field due to the non-zero distance, the field present due to non-zero distance is not infinite, it's a finite component. Even though the wire is infinite, non-zero distance having the field value is always finite. So when we come to the very close to the wire, it tends to blow up. The field is directly proportional to the current and inversely proportional to the distance from the current source. Fourth point, that it's while we determine the distance of the magnetic field due to the long wire, we are using a right hand rule. Grasp the wire in your right hand, take the wire in your right hand, extended your thumb pointing towards the current direction. So now just right hand rule is applied, but the components whatever we have taken earlier, this is what which we are going to define according to that the component assumed value, and from that which we are going to define, that is different. Earlier we have taken that current direction and where the circular wire is there, so we are going to find out the magnetic field. Now we are going to find, so in that case we are going to find out the magnetic field. Now what we are doing, take the wire in your right hand, we are going to extend the thumb in the direction of current. So wherever our finger is going to curl, that gives us a magnetic field. So finger direction now gives you the magnetic field direction in this case, right? I repeat, in earlier case, in Biot-Savart law, whatever it is defined in which a circular path, that is in our palm, fingers is in the direction of the current, so the thumb gives you the magnetic field direction. Now here thumb gives you the current direction. In your hand, in your right hand, take the wire. So wherever the finger is moving, it gives you the magnetic field. See, each case the magnetic field component and the current relation gives you based on the right hand rule. The phenomena, the direction, it's just a different. So, Ampere law is based on the Biot-Savart law, both related to the magnetic field and the current, and both are expressed for the steady state current only. As Biot-Savart law is Ampere's law depends on onto the Biot-Savart law, like a Gauss law depends on the Coulomb's law. Here Ampere's law and Gauss law both are given based on the boundary condition, based on the surface condition, by including its physical quantity like a source, current or charge. So Ampere law holds the steady state current which is not fluctuate with the time. Ampere's law can hold any loop. It may not facilitate to evaluation of magnetic field in each case. It only can be available due to the steady state current with the circular loop only. So our expression for the magnetic field B is mu 0 I upon 2R for the field at the center of the loop. However, there exists a large number of situations for symmetry where the law can be conveniently applied. Now let us focus over to the example. Figure shows a long straight wire of a circular cross section with a radius A carrying a steady state current I. The current I is uniformly distributed across this cross section. Calculate the magnetic field in the region where R less than A and another case if R greater than A. As shown in the figure, we have one cross section area is given whose radius is A available and the magnetic field is available where the radius R is there. That R is greater than A at the point P, that is the second circle, and the first circle at where R1 which is less than A. For both the case we need to determine a magnetic field effect. For example, we are taking a second case where R is greater than A. So for that L is 2 pi R. So my equation is mu 0 I upon 2 pi R. The direct equation we can use based on our previous consideration. So we can say that magnetic field is inversely proportional to the distance R. Now if we are taking R is less than A, which is defined as the inside of the circle as a one circle whose radius is R1. So that is L equals to 2 pi R. But for that current value is different. In the first case, IE is a current enclosed by the loop equal to the I. The result is the current same equation for the long straight wire. But now in that second case, I is a different value. IE is not just I value directly. So now since the current distribution is uniform and current is enclosed, my IE equal to I pi R square upon pi A square. I current with respect to pi R square for the given of the conductor pi A square. So my result is I R square upon L square. Put this result over to the Biot-Savart equation, Ampere's law equation. B equals to mu 0 I upon 2 pi R. Replace that I with the IE, that is I R square upon A square. So my result becomes mu 0 I upon 2 pi A square into R. So in this case we can say that a magnetic field is directly proportional to the R when R is less than A. So from that graphical representation we can say that when radius is less than A, magnitude is increases and directly proportional to the R, but when R is greater than A, magnetic field is reduces as it's inversely proportional to the R. So as it is discussed, you can go through the slide over here. And here, based on the Ampere's law, we can express this example based on its symmetry property. So here we are going to end our this session. Hope you understood thoroughly. Thank you.